Okay, excellent. We're recording. Good evening and welcome to the December 17th Village Board meeting. This is a special meeting with a very short agenda this evening. Can I ask everyone to say the Pledge of Allegiance with me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, nation under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
Liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for all. Great, thanks, guys. Since there's only three of us here at the moment, we do have a quorum, but I'm not seeing public, anybody in the public that wants to speak tonight. We do have a public comment at all of our meetings. Do you two gentlemen have anything else you'd like to bring up since we're here?
No.
Nothing? We talked
Well,
about snow already.
in case people do this later on,
Mhm.
if we want the reminder out there that as crazy it is with how much snow there is, I understand that. It is each resident's responsibility to shovel out the sidewalks in front of their house.
Yeah.
Yes.
The municipality snow blowing the driveway is really just a courtesy, or the sidewalk is just a courtesy.
Good point. Yes, and I know the guys will be out to do that when they get a handle on the storm, but it is, yeah, you're right, the residents' responsibility. The other thing I would mention, because I saw a problem with it on Maple Avenue this morning, and even currently right now, there's still one vehicle. There is no overnight parking on the streets. I know the police have put out some warning stickers on cars in the last few weeks to remind people of that. And we did have an issue, today with Maple not getting plowed for 2 lanes because of 3 cars that were parked there and the snow could not be moved. So it's really important that residents park in the designated lot, either behind the Enterprise Printing, which is a 24-hour lot, or in their driveways would be the best place to go to. So I'll just make that reminder. And Michelle is entering now, so just give a second.
Hello.
Hey,
Sorry.
Michelle. That's okay. We just started about 2 minutes.
Good.
Everybody's got we're a little snow delayed here. So
Yeah.
we're okay. We were just giving some reminders about snow, parking, and also doing sidewalks, residents' responsibility about sidewalks. So that's where we've been so far. So I don't have any, Michelle, do you have anything for public comment yourself? Oh, I think I lost her. Maybe
No,
not.
I'm here. No, I don't. I'm
You
good.
have
Thank you.
anything? Okay, so let's move on to the agenda and item number 1 on the agenda for this evening, which is consider authorizing Mayor Denine to sign a contract with R&R Logging for sale of timber on the Village of Altamont's property located in the town of Knox, tax map number 47-1-27. This contract came out of our conversation, I guess, maybe a month ago, I think, when we're talking about some ways to, increase revenues. We've been trying to figure out some different ways. We've done this before as the village, 2003. We had a timber specialist come in and they took out hardwood at that time, selected hardwood, and this time it would be a selection of both hard and softwood. Jeff Muller with the Department of Public Works reached out to a few companies, and this company was the sole company that responded. They provided references. He has checked them, spoken with each reference that was given, and there were 5 total. 1 was written and the 4, and he called all of them up with very, very positive results for the references. They gave us a contract they generally use for their company, I guess that you would consider it a template. And we gave it to our village council, who then reviewed it and then added parts to it, such as insurance riders and things like that, that we have to have as a village. Some of those protections were added to it. Now, Jeff was going to be here tonight, so I don't have all the details, but maybe I can answer some of the things. I don't know if I know all of them. I know, Dean, you had some concerns with something about the process of the cutting. So if you want to maybe talk to that a little bit.
Sure, I can. I think you all got the email.
Yep.
It's my background. I was just cautioning that the contract is understandably perhaps a little short But I just had suggested some things that, and I know time is of the essence with this, that there's some things that might want to be beefed up in the contract just to protect all parties.
Mhm.
Contracts are really designed to protect all parties. And this is written a little bit, in my opinion, loose in the village's part because some things really aren't very well defined.
Mhm.
What exactly is necessary and unnecessary damage? That's a lesser concern. The other item I had, if I'm trying to remember now, was
You talked about how things, the cuts are left, like if there's a
yeah,
forest.
the biggest concern is what do they mean by as much as possible? Again, that's a pretty vague statement for a contract.
Mhm.
What does that mean? Does that mean the slash is left in place, the slash is put in piles, the slash is all chipped up and then removed?
From what I understand, and I could, from speaking, or Jeff wrote me what the references said, so I had an email about that. That the, from another job, it is technically, they have piled it, is what they have done. So it hasn't been left around. It's not maybe removed, but it has been piled. You know, what,
Yeah, that's
neatly, if you will.
to my point, that's really
Yeah,
not a best practice.
okay,
It should either be chipped up and then spread out or removed fully. It shouldn't be left locally per each tree, and it really shouldn't be piled up because that invites critters,
yep,
insects, that sort of thing, which is and a potential fire hazard.
okay. So if I, as one thing, because I just want, here's what I'm thinking we could do because of the timeline, perhaps with this, is if I make a list of things that we want to include, I won't see, I mean, this was to authorize me to sign the contract, but I won't sign it until we've all looked at it, obviously. You know what I'm saying? So if I include, chipped or removed, whatever, with that part of it, have that put in the contract as one of the things after I speak with them, or have Jeff
Yeah,
speak
I
with.
mean, maybe the contract doesn't get adjusted, but there's a attachment A, which is often a rider that clarifies is expected on the termination of the contract.
Yep,
And again, I would recommend that things either be chipped or taken off site.
okay, and that's what I wrote just now, chipped or,
We shouldn't be stuck with all of the small branches and leaves,
okay,
mostly branches, laying in piles around the ground because that's just it's not good practice.
okay, all right, I will put
And then
that.
the other question, which was really minor, I'm just more curious, is the third one was, what exactly do you mean by, again, that's why I took exception to the contract. What exactly do you mean by restoring it, restoring the skid roads as they were? That implies that they're going back with plantings, which I'm sure is not what he's intending.
They're not going back with plantings. I knew the
I'm
answer.
not sure I'm not suggesting that we do require plantings, but that's how it reads.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know they're not going back with plantings, that
Right,
part,
I'm not suggesting that they should. It would be great if they did, but that's,
right?
I'm sure what he was indicating in the contractors, he would get rid of the ruts, make sure the water bars are still working if they need to stay in place. That's all well and good. But the way it's written, it implies that he's going back to the way it was before they started cutting, and that's probably not true. And again, it sounds like, but if he gets to a position where he's struggling with getting out of there,
Mhm.
walks away, we don't have anything to hold on.
Right. I understand what you're saying. I can ask Allison to rephrase, not just rephrase it, but take that out perhaps and add, as like you said, one of the attachments.
Maybe it needs to be clarified that the grading will be reestablished as original and not imply that grading and grass seeding and small plantings is also going to be done.
Okay.
Which is really how that reads now, and that's not what we're going to get. So.
Okay. And I do, not that it's not in writing, obviously, but one of the references specifically talked to that point about how they had come back because there was one group that said they found one of those roads to be a little bit out of shape. And they immediately came back a day later and made sure it was all made good. So just,
Great.
at least I feel like they're conscientious about their work. that they're, they come back and make good on it from everything we have found out so far.
Oh, that sounds great. I just don't want somebody else coming back, from the village saying, hey,
Yeah,
the contract read is supposed to get back to the way it was. Where are the trees? We never intended that. So then that way that protects him, for example.
so we're looking at the addition of chipped or removed of the excess branches and a grading either reestablished on those roads or, as they make them, making sure they're all just graded appropriately, basically. Picked up neat, the whole thing. All right,
Yeah,
so-
the other ones are kind of picky. So I'm not that concerned about them. It's just examples of
Yep.
things that can go awry.
But those are two, I think, reasonable, we can
They're
add,
really just clarifications. They're not.
it's fine.
probably
No, I
extras.
will make a point of, I'm gonna see if I can call them tomorrow and just see if I can touch base with them. I did send them an email, but this came to us a little bit later, as you saw,
Mhm.
you got it later. So I haven't heard from them, but again, today is the day to hear back from folks, so.
Well, and I'm pretty sure he's not looking to do the skid roads tomorrow either.
Probably not. No, probably not. John, did you have anything with this that you were concerned about?
Actually, Dean put up some pretty good points. Wouldn't have thought of that. It's
Me neither.
Well, it's my, I apologize. It's my current world, but also I have a degree in forestry.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's great. And this is, this is a great opportunity for us to also get some revenue that we've been looking for different areas. We've talked about this for a while, but hadn't done it since 2003. So it's a good time for this.
yeah, that's
And
it. Was there any sense of, maybe Jeff could speak to this, but was there a sense of what they thought they might be getting out of the lot?
Oh, revenue wise, are you
Yeah.
talking?
Yeah.
We were looking at a minimum of 40 to 50.
2,000. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the total. That's our,
that's a minimum.
so half of that is what we would look to recoup.
They have to determine how many marked trees there will be to see how much quantity of money. will
Let's just
be
say our
allotted.
revenue last time we did this was 60.
Huh.
This is fairly in line with that.
Not the same company.
It's not the same company. No,
Gotcha.
not the same company.
So I'm sorry, it was expected to be $50,000 total cut or
No, our revenue,
share, or so about
our share, our revenue.
$100,000 cutting. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of trees.
And like I said, last time it was 60, and that was only hardwood. This is hard and soft, so we'll see. He offered to do a more of an analysis tree by tree by tree, but it would take some time and then the cost for us off the top, type of thing. And, Jeff was trying to, again, work with what we wanted him to do and try to find somebody. And it's really tough because they're very busy. And so
So how would that, I'm not suggesting this, but how would that work? Our percentage would go down a little bit if we asked them to be more selective cutting? That what you're saying?
I'm assuming, yeah, I didn't have those conversations personally, Jeff did, but that's my assumption but it also takes quite a bit of time to do that. So,
No, fair enough. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed to reducing our percentage if we began to do that. So,
yeah, I think we're looking at what though, 8 weeks and conditions that we have. And it was also, I know there's other jobs lined up, so we're kind of sneaking in, which was, good in a way. We were having a hard time. So I think we'll talk with him more this week. I sent him what Allison had sent us and to get their comments on it as well, to make sure they were okay with what we had. And this looks like only a couple of things we would add to it. So as long as you guys were, that's what comes through and you give me the okay, then I'd be okay with signing it then. I don't know if that's.
Yeah.
So you're going to try to send that off to them as they review the contract.
Yeah, because they got the
Who
one
did this?
I got. Yeah, yeah, we've.
So
sent
out of
that-
curiosity, I have a question. So stumps shall be cut low. Like, what's the definition of low? How low is?
Typically with a full-size log, they would cut it as low as they can get it because they want as much
Okay.
as they can get. So you're probably talking 12 inches off the ground at the most, but which is a reasonable thing. is
Yeah.
gotta-
I mean, what is reasonable?
Yeah,
except for a
he's-
fork or metal in a tree.
Yeah, he's gonna cut the 2 forks because typically they're not, I should step back. Lumber is based on an 8-foot length. Okay, so if he can't get 8 foot out of a log, it's particularly a hardwood log, he's not gonna take it.
Okay,
Okay, so usually those splits are, below 8 feet above the ground. So he's gonna take the 2 splits, but he has no need for the Y because that's also, you can't put it in the mill
okay,
because of the shape. And then the metal in the tree is always a big concern for them because of barbed wire, old trail markers, posted signs that get absorbed over the time. Because
Yeah.
what happens is if well, they won't even know, they may take a log that has it in and they didn't realize. When they put something through the mill that has metal in it,
that ruins the blade.
and a blade is $5,000.
Yeah,
So that's why they don't want to, that's why they very seldom will do farm lots because they never know what's in the trees.
and then like I had a bunch of maple trees or like what is that, walnut trees on a property. They won't take them because it's on a residential property.
That's why, that's probably why. Yeah, 'cause walnuts are very valuable. But
Yeah.
that's probably why, yeah, because they have no idea what's in it. A birdhouse, a tree fort,
Yeah.
Well, with that said, looking at the item, does anybody feel comfortable making a motion to have me sign? And I won't do that until we have these stipulations in place? Yes or no?
I agree with that. I mean, if they agreed to the small stipulations that we present to them, I can't imagine why not.
Okay, so I will,
I will make a motion to go into contract with R&R with the stipulation of finding the results of the additional requested clarifications to the contract.
okay. John or Michelle, do you
I'll,
want?
I'll second it.
Okay, and roll call Patty.
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
trustee Scally,
In favor?
Mayor Denine.
In favor. And I'm looking at item number 2 on the agenda is consider motion to adjourn. Could I have a motion for that?
Make that as well.
I'll
Ian's
second it.
And Michelle, okay, and roll call, please.
Trustee Whalen,
In favor?
trustee Ganance,
In favor.
trustee Scally,
In favor?
Mayor Denine.
In favor. And our next scheduled meeting for anyone who's watching is Tuesday, January 5th at 7 p.m. That's our regular scheduled time.
Okay.
So we'll see you all back online then. Be safe, stay home if you can, and have a great holiday week.
Yeah. Happy
Bye now.
holidays.
Gary,
Bye.
I'll see you Sunday. Bye now.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I'll see you.
Well, you
Sunday.
don't have to meet, but
Take
I
care,
understand.
guys.
No, I understand.
bye now.
Bye.